So our first selection from our Champagne Club that we're going to be tasting, this is the Juillet-Lallement.
It looks like we might have actually helped
Well,
ourselves.
I mean, we're going to be tasting it again. We've already checked the bottle to make sure it's
Quality
perfectly
assurance.
fine. Yes. So this is delicious.
It is delicious.
Really exciting producer. It's the Brut Selection Grand Cru. So lots to kind of dive into there.
Yeah.
Non-vintage, so it's a blend or multi-vintage, right? I've been seeing it on wine lists lately.
I've been seeing multi-vintage.
So it's a little
Usually.
envy.
Right, because...
Which is not Roman numerals.
Right, it's not. It's for multi-vintage. Good point. But yeah, I remember I always only used to see envy for non-vintage, but then for good reasons, people are like, well, it's not that it doesn't have a vintage, it's that there are many vintages in here, which is kind of a key component of a lot of champagne winemaking, right? Which is that unless it's a vintage, which means all of the fruit is from that one harvest, they're known for blending multiple vintages to have kind of a consistent style, right, across many bottlings. And you can also get more complexity that way, too.
Yeah. I think that makes sense. I mean, in a region that's so cold and you're not sure every year what you're going to get. And for these guys who are grower-producer, so they're making wine from their own vineyards.
Right.
This is kind of a way of making sure they have wine to produce every year.
Yeah. So. And I should say it's obviously a white wine, but there is a black grape in here.
Yes. So this is a blend of Pinot Noir and Chardonnay. So 2 of the grapes that are allowed in champagne production, 2 of the 7. One of the brilliant things about champagne, and it's so fascinating, it's like the process is that they're making white wine from red grapes.
Mm-hmm. Because if you think about it, right, if you have even a table grape that's red and you bite it in half, the flesh is pale. So if you press the juice off of the skins right away, you still get this clear, pale
beautiful wine.
Yes. So how do you like to taste champagne? Do you taste it differently than you would a still wine?
I do swirl. I don't know if it's a force of habit sometimes. I do have to kind of...
I swirl my coffee sometimes. I don't even think about it. It's just
sparkling water. Just it could be dangerous with hot coffee.
Yes. Be careful. Do not try this at home.
Yeah, no. So when I approach a champagne, especially when I'm tasting for quality or in a professional setting, as we are,
obviously,
I do like to swirl it because it does, like any other wine, release those aromatics and kind of give you a little bit more of what's going on in the wine.
There's a lot to talk about on the nose too. Here, I definitely get like sort of apple, like yellow apple, citrus. I get a lot of floral notes as well. Kind of like a brioche, biscuity.
Some baked goods in there. A little bit of that lees, right? So champagne sits on that dead yeast for years sometimes, and you get that kind of baked bread flavor and on the nose.
I like marzipan sometimes as a descriptor for that. But yeah, agree. There's like this beautiful balance of these kind of fresh fruit notes, that kind of dough biscuit note to it. And then definitely a marker of champagne is the acidity, right? Like my mouth is really, really watering.
Yeah.
And when I taste, so I also swirl, and then I really swish it around my mouth, just like I would do with the still wine, right? Obviously, you have these bubbles, so be careful, don't take too big of a sip. But if you really swish it, right, then like instantly my mouth starts watering.
I can feel it. I can feel the acidity of it.
Absolutely.
So refreshing.
Which is one of the reasons it's so great with food.
Yes.
Right?
Absolutely.
Should we try one bite of something?
I think.
Okay.
And then we can also talk about like Brut and like what that means and what that means for pairing. So we've got just a little snack here. So we have some caviar, some potato chips, a couple kinds of popcorn, and then some honey roasted nuts. So it's something a little sweet.
I'm going to start with the popcorn and have a little saltiness.
I think that works.
Because salt and champagne works really well together, right?
Mm-hmm. I see that more and more on like a lot of menus with like fried chicken and champagne. Mm-hmm. It does. The salt kind of, makes you thirsty, and then the wine comes in and and quenches that thirst.
It kind of cleanses your palate, right? Makes you want to go back for another big handful of popcorn. Maybe not just the one piece that I took, like a big handful of popcorn.
Absolutely.
But you mentioned Brut, which we should talk about on this wine. So you'll see on the label, or on some labels, you might see things like extra Brut, or even you might see things like Brut Nature.
Yep.
So those
more of those out there
all the
for
time.
sure.
So that refers to the sweetness level. Now, even a Brut is going to taste dry. So Brut is 0 up to 12 grams, right, of dosage, of grams per liter. But even on the higher end, often because the acidity is so high, it doesn't really taste sweet, right? It just sort of adds to the overall balance on your palate.
Yeah, I always feel like the best dosage is the one you don't notice.
Exactly. And actually, I don't notice it on
You don't feel this. You don't feel the sweetness or really sense sweetness. You just feel the balance.
Exactly.
And great champagnes do that. And a lot of us get kind of caught up on the technical. How many grams? What's the number? But really, it comes down to like how it feels in the mouth for me.
Right. How enjoyable is it?
How enjoyable is it?
For me, this is very enjoyable.
This is a great way to start.
All right. Cheers.
Cheers.